So if we can just get the map on the screen here, it will show exactly where the epicenter of this earthquake was. In fact, the epicenter of the earthquake was in fact in Myanmar, in the second largest city in Myanmar, which is Mandalay. Here we can see that the epicenter of the earthquake was in fact in Myanmar, and aftershocks actually hit Bangkok. There was a 7.7 magnitude, a very strong earthquake in fact that hit the region. And in fact, if we can just zoom into this map, it will really show that the epicenter, which was Mandalay, which was in the northwest of Myanmar. In fact, this is where the earthquake took place, the epicenter of the earthquake, and the aftershocks, which was about 6.4 magnitude aftershocks, in fact hit Bangkok. And when it comes to the kind of visuals that we're seeing, if we can just get some of the visuals of the devastation that has really taken place in Bangkok, we can see that, large residential buildings, glass buildings have completely shattered and turned to rubble. In fact, one of the main visuals that we are seeing is a visual of a under construction skyscraper that completely turned to rubble. And in fact, reports were indicating that about 43 people were workers who were at the site, at the construction site. As you can see here, workers at the site completely running from the destruction and in complete panic. And you can see that they were completely, they were completely overtaken by the devastation that has taken place, and now it is reported that about 43 people are stuck in that rubble and some are being rescued. So, but when it comes to Myanmar, which was essentially the epicenter of this earthquake, very little information has in fact trickled out. Now we're hearing from certain UN agencies as well as the Red Cross that the devastation in Myanmar is going to be quite significant and is expected to be quite significant. So it really highlights that, and one of the reasons why the very little information has trickled out is because of the fact that since 2021 there's been a military junta in power in Myanmar, and there's been no internet connectivity and no proper communication or media is established in Myanmar which is able to share any sort of information with the rest of the world. And here this visual really shows an iconic Myanmar bridge, in fact completely collapsing, turning to rubble. And this is one of the very iconic bridges in Myanmar, and it is yet to be seen what kind of death toll that can be expected. But most agencies are saying that while the impact of the earthquake or the damage of the earthquake is limited in Bangkok, it is expected to be quite significant in Myanmar, but very little information coming out. But when it comes to Thailand and Bangkok, so far the Thai government has indicated that 90 people are missing and 3 have died as a result of the damage and destruction of the earthquake. In fact, the visual, if we can go to the visual earlier, but this visual, as I mentioned, showed the building collapsing, and here we can see a religious shrine in Myanmar, in fact, completely collapsing and in rubble. So really the devastation in Myanmar is what we'll be focusing now on, and the kind of impact that is there. But even in the streets of Bangkok, as we have other visuals showing, people just running and complete manic and chaos on the streets of Bangkok. But now things are calming down. The government has initiated various emergency teams to assess the damage. There have been emergency meetings, and in fact the Thai Prime Minister, who was in Phuket on a visit, is now returning to Bangkok to really take charge of the situation and understand what the country needs. But so far an emergency zone has been established in Bangkok, which saw the most devastation by this earthquake.
Absolutely.